Hello everybody, this is going to be a tutorial on how to use the Cricut Explore Air 2 that we have available in the NLS Youth Services Lending Library. It's listed on our LibCal page, so you would reserve it the same way that you would any of our other equipment. The only difference is that you would have to come pick it up and you need to have your own vinyl and whatever it is that you're using the vinyl on. So I have all of my stuff set up here. I have my laptop set up. It is hooked up to the Cricut, which we did upload a quick video on how to plug everything in. This is the mat, which you will get when you borrow our Cricut. A pair of scissors to cut the vinyl and a t-shirt. This is heat transfer vinyl, which is what you want to use for things like if you're making a t-shirt or a bag. And it's basically you just iron it on and it looks pretty good. So now I have the Cricut design space open on my laptop. If you don't have it downloaded, you would just go to Cricut.com to do so. And this is basically where you're gonna make what you're gonna be putting on your t-shirt. So I already have the design made, but I'm gonna show you really quick how you would do it. So this is what it looks like. So if you want to add text, for example, you would click text, a little box will pop up there. We're going to be doing summer reading themed projects. So I had made a Team Unicorn, pardon my finger, a Team Unicorn t-shirt. So you would basically put in what you want and it pops up in a bigger box right there so you can see it better. So Team Unicorn. Now I don't like that font. So same way you would in like Microsoft Word or something, you're going to go up to font. There are fonts that you have to pay for and fonts that you don't. For the ones you don't have to pay for, you're gonna go up here to System. You're gonna click that. Find one that you like. I think that looks cool because it's very collegiate. I like that. I'm gonna move it up here on the top. And there's different ways you can play around with it. For instance, I like this curve look. You click curve and you can kind of make it look cool like that. Now, if you want to add a image, you would go over here to images. You're going to click that. And in search, you're going to search for whatever it is you want. So I want a unicorn. I'm going to search for unicorn. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to filter and I'm going to click on free. There is something called Cricut Access, which if you pay monthly, then you have access to all these images. I don't have that, and a lot of libraries probably aren't gonna have it either, so I'm gonna click on that unicorn, and I'm gonna insert the image. And there it is. So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna move it around. You can resize it, all that good stuff. You can add more text. That's basically the gist of how you would add text and an image into your Cricut canvas here. Okay, so this is actually a project that I had already made ahead of time for this tutorial. I just realized it's a different font than what I showed you before, and the reason for that is this is a little less detailed than the other one, which means that when you're trying to peel it apart from the backing, you don't have to worry about the little details and stuff like that. So what you want to do is go over here. You're going to see all the different elements of your design. So here's the top part where we wrote Team Unicorn, the middle image, and then the bottom part where we wrote Summer 2020. What you want to do is you want to select all three of them. So you would hold down the Shift key and then go through and click them. Then you're gonna go up here to group. You're gonna group them all together. So now it kind of becomes one whole unit as opposed to three separate ones. You're gonna go down here to where it says weld. Click that. And what that does is it keeps your design exactly in this area. You're gonna go up here to where it says make it and click that. And that's gonna start getting everything together. And that's what it's gonna look like on your mat. So as you can see, just like the mat that we have here. It's got measurements. So this goes right past the 8-inch mark and just past the 7-inch mark. So now I have this giant piece of vinyl loaded on my mat. If you want to, you can cut it just so that it matches the different numbers that you have here. I figured I would just use this giant piece. Now this is important. You want to put your vinyl the shiny side down. So basically it's gonna cut it and then you're gonna flip it over onto your t-shirt. So you want the part that's gonna be showing on your t-shirt to be down. So just remember it's shiny side down. Another important thing to remember is that you want to come over here and you want to mirror the image. And as you can see, it kind of flips it around because again, it's gonna cut it and then you're gonna flip it over onto your t-shirt. So I'm gonna turn on the Cricut, open it up. It's getting all ready. I'm gonna put my mat in between these little thingies right there and you're gonna push it up to this bar there. I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna go to continue because we're gonna continue to make it. And right now it's connecting to my Cricut, which I have connected with the USB cable. Now you're gonna see over here, this is gonna start blinking right here. And basically what that does is that it loads the mat for you. So I'm gonna click that and you're gonna see it loads the mat. It kind of takes it in a little bit and gets it ready. The next thing you're gonna see is this is gonna blink, the C, and you're gonna press that. And you'll see this pop up on your screen and that it's gonna begin cutting. So right now it is cutting my design onto the vinyl. This gives you a little indication of how far along it is and when it'll be ready. This isn't too detailed, so it looks like it's moving fairly quickly, so it should be done soon. While that's cutting, a good idea is to heat up your iron. I'm just using a regular household iron. There are special irons for Cricuts. I don't have one of those, so I'm just using a regular iron and it's set to cotton because I'm using a cotton t-shirt. Another thing to remember that I forgot to mention is this knob up here. You want to make sure it's turned to iron on. And you can see all the different materials. Obviously, we're not using cardstock or poster board, so you want it to be set to iron on because that's what we're using. Okay, so as you can see now, the project is done. It's at 100%. This is going to start blinking again, just like it did when you were loading the mat. So you're going to press this, and it's going to unload the mat because you don't want to just pull it out. So I'm going to close this up since we're done. Okay, maybe I'm not. Okay, and then you're going to turn it off. So I don't know if you can see, but you can see the cut marks in the vinyl. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to peel this off of the mat. So I'm going to prop the phone up so I can kind of show you how to do it. Okay, so I actually have a little extra vinyl here that wasn't part of the cutting process. So I'm just gonna cut that off and save it for later. Another project. I can cut it. Okay. Now, as you can see, these mats are sticky and that's what keeps it in place when it's being cut. So you're gonna peel the whole thing off. And now what you have to do is you need to separate this backing with this shiny side, and that is what is going to reveal your design. So that can be a little tricky to do. Sometimes you might have to get a tool to be able to do it. There is a tool called a weeder. That's part of the Cricut design space, but you don't always need it. So as you can see, it's coming apart pretty good. Depending on the type of heat transfer vinyl you're using, some of it pulls off a little bit easier than others. This is pretty thick because it's sparkly, so it's a little tough to get off, but so I was able to separate the backing and the front, and as you can see, this is what it looks like when you flip it over. I also trimmed some of the other backing off. You can kind of see I trimmed some of the pieces off so it's a little bit smaller. Now this is something that I wanted to show you that you're gonna have to do with a lot of designs, and it's called weeding. This is a weeder. It's part of the Cricut line of stuff to spend your money on. And what it's used for is little areas such as this 0 right here that has this piece in it that was cut. So you're going to use this weeding tool. It's usually not difficult, but it is when you're holding a phone and that. And you're going to kind of pick it up like that. And then you can use your finger or the weeding tool, and it gets all those little pieces out. So for instance, all these little parts of the mane, those were weeded out. You know, inside the A here, those were weeded out. Inside the R. So anywhere that you want to be able to see the shirt, that has to be weeded out. So I'm gonna do this 0 again, this other 0. I can, for a second. There we go. Okay, so we have this ready. Our unicorn did sustain a leg injury, unfortunately, but I was able to retrieve it, and you can't really notice. So now comes the fun part. You're going to get everything ready to iron on your design. Okay, so I have my t-shirt laid out. I have the design with the shiny side up. I have it centered on the shirt where I want it. I also have a towel underneath the shirt because I'm not doing this on an ironing board. I'm just doing it on my dining room table, and I want something to absorb the heat. So I have my iron on, and I'm just gonna kind of go over it, and you kind of want to press, and you want to go on the different spots and press. Now there is a Cricut product called the Easy Press, and it's basically like a big square iron that you could use for stuff like this, and it kind of distributes the heat a little bit better, but I don't have one of those, so we're just going to use this regular household item and hope that it works. Okay, so I have finished ironing it on, and what you're going to do is you're going to slowly peel it off, because you never know if there's a piece. Like you can see this little tail should have been ironed a little bit better, but careful with the letters too. And there we have it. This is our beautiful Team Unicorn summer reading t-shirt.